Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Today in this video, we are gonna bake a loaf of bread together, but I have never baked a loaf of bread this way before. I am going to be freshly milling the wheat into flour to use in the bread. So it'll be a freshly milled flour yeast bread. This is the recipe I'm using. It's from hopethisworks.com. It looked like a really good beginner recipe, and I am a beginner. Freshly milling your own flour obviously is something that has gone on for thousands and thousands of years, but on YouTube right now there is a resurgence of people getting into freshly milling their own flour and baking bread products from it. I haven't gotten into all of that and all the, the plans and the programs and things, but I did have the opportunity to try out a grain mill. This is back here behind me. You'll see it more closely in a minute. A Beavercreek grain mill. Again, keep in mind that I am brand new to this, so I can't really compare the grain mill to other different grain mills on the market. This is my very first one, but I can share my experience with you as a beginner. The wheat berries I'm going to be using, I got from Azure Standard. I've talked about Azure Standard many times on my channel. I get bulk health foods through Azure Standard. You can get really good prices if you buy like higher quantities of things. So I got a hard white wheat berry and a hard red wheat berry, and that's the combination that's recommended in this recipe, so I figured I'd just go with what was recommended. So here is the Beavercreek grain grinder. This is one of their bigger ones. They have some that are smaller, more like just little spice grinders. So this is a bigger one that can, handle a bigger capacity to do flour. I believe this is called a swing type of mill because it can swing down. It tilts down so you can kind of pour the flour out. It has a little timer dial here. The controls are very, very simple. And it does have a safety feature where unless the lid is locked in place, it will not turn on, because obviously this could be very dangerous if you tried to turn it on while the lid was not on. So that's what the inside looks like there. So the recipe says 300 grams of the hard white and 200 grams of the hard red. But then I might need a little extra flour down later in one of the steps. So I'm gonna do a little bit more than that. And you're not supposed to fill this more than 2/3 full. So we'll see how far we get here. That did not fill up too much at all. I could maybe even do 2 loaves worth of grain in here, which is fantastic. You do want to make sure that you cover the lower blade. You don't want it to be too empty, but that looks like it's ready to go. We will lock the lid in place. And grinding the grain in here is really, really quick. I did a test run with rice and it took maybe like 20-25 seconds and it was very fine powder. So I was very impressed with that. It is going to be loud. So plugging it in, they always recommend that you keep it unplugged when you're, working with it, filling it, emptying it, and only plug it in when you're ready to actually grind. All right, I'm gonna let it go for about 30 seconds. All right, that looks very, very nice. They give you this little brush to be able to get the powder off the lid here. All right, that is what it looks like. It is nice and fine. We're gonna measure out 500 grams into the bowl here, and then that'll leave me with just a little bit extra left in case I need it later. I just realized I forgot to add the salt and the olive oil. I am already messing this up, but this is real life here. 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 1.5 tablespoons of the olive oil. All right, now I'm gonna get this mixed in here slowly. Now I'm going to take it over to my KitchenAid mixer with my kneading attachment, and we are going to knead it for 8 minutes. All right, it has been 8 minutes. So I'm turning this off and I'm supposed to let it rest for 30 minutes. This has been sitting for 30 minutes and we're gonna knead it for another 8 minutes. All right, there is my dough and we're gonna get it shaped. Hopefully it won't be too sticky all over my hands, although I do have all this extra flour just in case. I have my 1.5 quart glass bread pan here. I got this one that's kind of long and skinny. I thought that was nice for like sandwich bread. And I have a piece of parchment paper and I was going back and forth between just spraying the pan or using the parchment paper and the spray. I think I'm just gonna spray it. All right, I'm gonna try to get this shaped nicely. I'm gonna use some of this flour. Needs to be a little bit longer. All right, that's gonna be good enough. And now we're supposed to let this rise for 30 to 60 minutes until it's like peeking over the edge. It looks so beautiful. All right, so we'll be back in 30 to 60 minutes. This has been rising for about an hour. I just set it here while my oven was preheating to 350, and so it was nice and warm. So I'm gonna throw this in. It says it should cook about 30 minutes or until an internal temperature of 190 degrees. Okay, I just pulled this out. It has risen so nicely. I'm gonna let it cool all the way, and since I had everything dirty, I went ahead and made another loaf that is rising here. So I'm gonna let this cool, and then we'll give it a slice and a taste test. There is my loaf, and it has cooled off. We're gonna give it a slice. The kids are dying to taste it. They are very excited about bread. Ooh, that looks nice. It's nice and soft. Smells good. It smells very healthy. Yeah, it has kind of an earthy smell to it, but it smells good. It smells delicious, actually. All right, let's do a taste test. Should we try the end piece or a middle piece?
Maybe this one so it's not all crust and it's small.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do, I forgot to do the rip. There's the rip, the tear. All right, try that.
Okay.
And then we can try it with butter after we try it plain. Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not too dense. I mean, it tastes whole wheat. It's not like it's Wonder Bread or anything.
Yeah.
But the flavor is really good.
Yeah, but it needs something. Like, I wouldn't just... Yeah.
It needs butter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Does that feel super dense like corn?
Yeah. It has a nice flavor. Like a little bit sweet.
Yeah, it's good.
I want to make a sandwich.
I want to make toast.
Yeah, this would be good sandwich bread. So what do you think compared to the einkorn bread?
I think it's better.
Better. Better?
Oh.
Like better flavor? Better
like the
texture?
einkorn,
Better.
But no need. Einkorn bread.
I think the outside it's much softer.
Yes,
and less
the crust is
tasty.
definitely softer.
Yeah.
and it's way nicer for sandwiches.
Right, this is sandwich bread. That's what it's called.
I like sandwich
It
bread
can be
more
used
than
for
like the sourdough
toast.
stuff in general. So I think I would much rather have this than the stuff. Because the other stuff, like, you can dip it in soup and you can put butter on it, but you can really not do that much with it. This can be toast, or it can be with sandwich, or it can be dessert, or you could dip it in soup still.
What dessert
It's-
would you use for that?
Yeah, you're gonna make bread dessert?
Yep.
Like bread
You
pudding?
could put like peanut butter and banana on it.
And you made some toast?
Yes.
Cinnamon sugar toast?
Yes.
Here's Talia's sandwich. Looks amazing.
50% pickles.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect
Tomatoes, cheese, and pepperoni.